It was a crazy weekend in college football. It was a crazy weekend, in my opinion, in NFL football. We've got new head coaches. We got Heisman coming up, and we have Flozell Adams. What's up, man?
Howdy. How y'all doing today?
I got down in Texas.
Cool. We
Um,
got a nice little subject here to talk about today, and we just, hey, now we do. We just get straight to it.
that's right. So MSU has a new head football coach. His name is Jonathan Smith. He came over from Oregon State, not the Ducks, but the Beavers. Um, I do think it's interesting that he seems to be already bringing some people with him. Quarterback, running back. Um, I thought that was interesting. I mean, how well does that work, bringing guys from other teams?
Well, that's the norm when you get college coaches going from one university to the next, because the coach expects the player, knows what to expect from a player, so he asks them to come, and they come. And plus, a player that's in college doesn't want to go through a transition, especially after their year 1 and 2, because the next head coach that's coming in is going to want to do things his way. So, running back, I didn't hear about the quarterbacks or anything. They just talk about this one up and coming freshman they have there called Aiden Childs, and they
Yep.
said he's going to enter the portal and most likely come to MSU, but it hasn't been determined yet on whether he's really going to MSU or not. Hopefully he does, because they're saying this guy is the next thing coming. But I guess this is it's definitely normal for some players to follow the head coach, because the head coach knows what he has, and that's who he's going to play definitely before he finds out the new system that he's come into, especially at Michigan State, coming off the season that they had this year.
Yeah. So three potentials. So that's a defensive coordinator. His recruit. It's funny because his recruiting strategy was the exact same thing that the interim head coach said. Um, Oregon State running back to commit on official visit day. The
Commit to
quarterback.
MSU.
Yep.
Mm.
Let's see. Michigan State hosting Oregon State running back commit to official visit. I don't know much about him. Obviously, there's a lot of time for that to happen, but I'm kind of curious. I'm curious to see, who all he is able to bring in to Michigan State.
Well, bringing that running back, I looked him up. He has 1,400 yards this year, but he's
Ooh.
but he's 5'8", and I didn't get the weight, maybe 200 something like that, and that's something he's gonna take a lot more hits in the Big Ten compared to Pac-12, because all that passing they do out there. But just gonna see how it is. But as bad as MSU played this year, I don't think they have that many bad players. Not to say that players like bad. I'm just it's the way that they were coached, and I think that the current roster that they have, minus the guys that are entering the portal, is going to be very, very good compared to what you think they are, especially once this guy get ahead of them. I must admit, I've never even heard of this guy. I've heard of Oregon State. They could have showed his face on the TV when they were playing anybody. I've never heard this guy, but apparently he has all the tools that's needed at MSU for them to be able to succeed, and I hope that's right. So we'll definitely see about that.
Well, his head coaching record, obviously, he came in as the head coach of Oregon State in 2018. He was 2-10, 5-7, then 2-5, 7-6. In 2022, he was 10-3. Pretty damn won a bowl in Las Vegas. And this year he was 8-4. So I mean he it'll be interesting. I always like to see new head coaches, you know, something momentum, I guess. They come into a new spot, which I agree Michigan State has the players to do what they need to do. It's just a matter of having a good head coach to put it all together. I wasn't impressed this year in quarterback. Again, I will say this to any quarterback who plays in college football: you're a damn good quarterback. Yeah, if you got that far, you're a damn good quarterback. Nobody's arguing that.
Yes, I was not impressed with the quarterback play this year,
Right.
and I think I can't say that they're bad quarterbacks and not good enough, but the offensive system sucked.
Right.
And the offensive coordinator did not do anything to help these guys or put them in a good position to score or do anything that's right offensively. So he's gone. This new era is coming. That Hauser guy, I think, and Kim, who started games this year, are in the portal. So they'll definitely be recruiting another quarterback, and maybe this Aiden Childs, who's supposed to be good, comes in. So I think the key to the MSU success next year is definitely going to be the quarterback. I mean, you can't have mediocre quarterbacks in the college and NFL and win. You got to have very, very good quarterbacks. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen right there.
Michigan State had basketball game against Georgia Southern. They won 86-55. So this week, actually, I take that back. Today they play number 23 Wisconsin in Lansing. So that'll be an interesting. Of course, after that's Nebraska. Baylor's going to be a rough one at number 6, and then Oakland, Stony Brook, and Indiana State.
Hey, do not laugh.
Don't laugh off Stony Brook.
Don't laugh. What was that? Detroit? You say? Who was it?
Stony Brook that I laughed about.
What was the one before that?
Oakland.
They lost to Oakland before.
Okay.
Michigan State basketball. Oakland, that's in the Detroit area. They have lost at least 2 times in the last 10, 15 years from Oakland, if I'm correct. If it's not 15, it's 20, but you're not supposed to lose to Oakland. And they have, so don't laugh. don't laugh. So, time is Izzo. So it's still early, beginning of December, and, they got Wisconsin in there for some of the Big Ten games. So, he starts amping it up in January when it's time to get those wins to get in that playoff. But I just wish it happens a little sooner.
Yeah. So this week in college football, Florida State beat Louisville, number 16. Michigan just hammered Ohio, or AKA Bitchigan, just hammered Ohio, 26-0. Obviously the upset of this weekend in college football was Alabama took out Georgia.
Look, I knew that was going to happen. Nobody believed me.
I wouldn't have believed you. I would not have believed you.
Nick Saban is the specialist of college playoffs. And Georgia's quarterback is mediocre at best, and they took advantage of it. So I knew that Nick Saban was going to find a way to beat Georgia, and it happened.
Yeah, I never would have thought that would happen. I did watch the Oklahoma-Texas game, and I watched the Alabama game, but it's one of those glance. You watch a game, you're like, what in the hell? I did watch the Texas-Oklahoma game. In the beginning, Oklahoma State was really holding on, and then Texas just ran over them. Washington beat out Oregon, and so obviously
that's a shocker. That's a shocker.
I was, and obviously you were curious to see what was going to happen because of the Alabama upset. The Alabama upset kind of, Texas was playing to get into the playoffs. And as soon as Alabama beat Georgia, it was automatic. Now, the one thing is Florida State didn't make it. And so this morning I was very curious why Florida State did not make the playoffs. And so I went through their schedule for 2023. And again, there's no bad team. Nobody's saying that any team is horrible. But I don't see that they truly beat anybody that would put them in the college playoffs.
Look, man.
Well, we were starting crap.
Wins are hard to come by in football. Wins are hard to come by when you're a team like Florida State. And they beat LSU. And forget the season that Clemson has had. They beat Clemson. They beat Virginia Tech. They beat Duke, who was ranked at the time. They beat Miami. That's always a state rivalry. They beat Florida, another state rivalry. They beat Louisville, who was ranked one of the most best defensive teams in college football. What are you talking about? They didn't play anybody. That's a tough schedule. I mean, if you're looking at Boston College and Southern Miss or something like that, they barely beat Boston College, but it doesn't matter. Those are some good teams they had beat on that. So
Clemson's 8-4 this year. Clemson is their season is 8-4. Miami Hurricanes. Let's see standings 7-5. I mean, and again, nobody's saying that there's any bad teams. I'm just saying. I remember hearing, I guess the Florida State quarterback got hurt at at Alabama, and they kept saying Alabama. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Did Florida State beat Alabama? And the answer is no. They beat North Alabama 58-13. But I really, I don't really. I mean, I am a little confused how they were in the playoffs at number 4. So they've been in the playoffs for a while. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks they were in the playoffs, but I get it. So our playoffs are number 1 Michigan. So number 1 plays number 4, right?
Yes.
So Michigan will play Alabama. Washington will play Texas, and then of course the winners of those will go. Do you think they should expand the playoffs for football for this?
I want to go back to the Florida State thing, and I'm going to tell you why they took Florida State out with they didn't lose any games or anything. Right. And there's only one thing: money. Everything's about clicks, how many commercials can be shown, how much money they can get from the TV networks. And it wasn't the bowl committee who didn't select Florida State. It was these networks that said, do not let Florida State in because they don't have a starting quarterback. They beat Louisville with a third-string quarterback. Nobody wants to come to a game. And I think the starter name is Jordan Travis. He's done for the year. Nobody wants to see the second-string guy or the third-string guy. You don't want to go in a college championship or playoffs with a second or third-string guy. It's too late for the Cinderella story for that guy. So the only reason that they did not put Florida State in the playoffs was because they didn't have a quarterback. That's the only reason, and it's going to cost them money.
Yeah, and here's the interesting thing. So Florida State in the Orange Bowl is going to play Georgia. If they win that game, I would almost be on the bandwagon of why they didn't make the playoffs. And obviously, hindsight's 2020. But if Florida State goes to the Orange Bowl and beats Georgia, because I mean, I get that Alabama beat Georgia, but I would be very curious to see how that, because it was only 27-24. It wasn't like some major blowout of Georgia. I mean, it was just a tight game. But
Florida State wasn't going to beat Georgia with a second and third string quarterback, no matter what.
You think Florida State's going to win?
No. Florida State would not have beaten Georgia with the second and third string quarterback.
They're playing the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, they're going to play in the Orange Bowl. I was talking about like if they were in the playoffs. But in the Orange Bowl, they're not going to win.
Yeah.
They're not going to win.
Well, it'll be good. I mean, I'm looking forward to hopefully Alabama whooping somebody in this playoff.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Come on. I'm be the biggest Alabama fan. When is the game? And what is
December
it? I don't
30th.
even, what, the end of December?
December 30th. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be the biggest Alabama fan. I might buy an Alabama t shirt just to wear, just to support them and beat bitch again.
Just to
Punk
have
ass
it on
suckers.
hand. Yeah.
See, we got,
Go ahead.
no. We just got somebody in the message board talking smack.
Who in the world is in there? I never have that stuff pull up. Oh,
He
you got
doesn't
Vaughn.
understand the repercussions of the other team winning. That's like Jackson State beating up on Alcorn or the Braves, so he just don't have any clue.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. So I will be curious to see what happens, not only with Florida State at Georgia, but I will also be curious to see what happens with whatchamacallit. Whatever. So Heisman Trophy,
Whatever.
that is this Saturday.
This Saturday, you got some good competitors that's going to be up in it too.
I have my vote already. What's your vote? My vote's
Okay.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
My vote is Jaden Daniels, and I've seen him play, but I didn't expect him to have the numbers that he had. His
Is that
completion.
Oregon?
No. That's LSU. Jaden
LSU.
Daniels of LSU. Bo Nix of Oregon. Michael Penix of Washington. Marvin Harrison Jr. of Ohio State. I pick LSU guy Daniels because he's had 11 touchdowns rushing and a 30-something touchdown passing, and he's just been superb for LSU this year. So, I mean, he got Nix and Penix passing the ball 4,300 yards respectively. Penix completion percentage is slightly lower than Nix's, but when you got an all-around athlete that's going out there and making things happen, when it's talking about Daniels, you can't pass him up.
Yeah, he finished the season with 4,946 total yards and 50 total touchdowns in 2023.
Yes.
And then what happens when what's this guy got? 4,145, 40 passing touch. Yeah, he shouldn't beat him out. That quarterback at least. No, he shouldn't. Okay. Yep. I just Marvin Harrison. Just watch that guy play.
No, he is a phenomenal player. He's definitely a phenomenal player. And if he'd have had a better quarterback, I bet you he'd have surpassed 1,500 yards easily and 15 touchdowns. But he had a mediocre quarterback, and he got those stats with a mediocre quarterback. That's why that guy knew he wasn't going to start next year, and he's in the portal too, that quarterback. So,
yeah. I think Vaughn there's just saying you're biased against Michigan. Damn, you're getting me to say it now.
he has no idea. He doesn't know what a rivalry is. He has no idea what a rivalry is.
Does Alcorn have a rival?
I don't know if Alcorn has a rival.
Vaughn, does Alcorn? That's a good question for Vaughn there. Does Alcorn have a rival?
And probably Jackson. They got so many rivals, though.
LOL.
I mean, they probably rivaled with Jackson State and Southern. Those probably the top two.
Yeah. So we move on to some pro sports. Chicago Bulls. I'm just confused. I mean, you got whooped by the Celtics and then beat the Bucks. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go.
Those top three, I think this is year 3. It might be 4 for those 3 guys. How you say his name? Vucevic or something like that. DeRozan. And what's the other guy name? I don't want to go on until I forget this guy's name.
I couldn't hear. DeMar Rose.
Levine, DeRozan, and Vucevic. They've had these guys 3-4 years and have not done anything.
Time to move.
Not one doggone thing. It's time. It's time to get rid of somebody, break them up, trade him or something. And while they're doing that, they need to get rid of that dang on coach. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything at all. So it's time to break this sauce up and make a new sauce and just move over because it's pathetic on seeing how those get three superstars out there that going 20 doggone points a game and cannot win a friggin' game.
And you got Zion Williams joking about going to the Bulls.
Zion Williams.
Yeah.
Are they talking about the trade with that?
I don't know. Zion Williams jokes about wanting to play for Bulls in viral clip. Pistons as a likely trade suit for Zach LaVine. Realistic trade. Warriors. Could the New York Knicks land DeMar Rosen in the Wild trade proposal? Yeah.
It's about time, man. You gotta scrap them and start all over. They tried, but it didn't work.
It's like Disney, we need a whole new world.
Yes, they do.
Whatever the fuck you're doing isn't working.
Exactly.
All right, so this weekend was interesting. In the NFL, Week 13, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Seahawks. I don't really think that was much of a question, although I will say that we didn't do the greatest on our picks. 1, 2, 3, 4. We both
now
lost
Dallas
5.
Cowboys almost actually lost those games.
Yeah.
And Seattle shot themselves in the foot 3 times in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They missed that fourth down because of some stupid block and a couple of passes that was, one was incomplete totally and the other one was a drop pass.
Yeah.
And it was all Seattle Seahawks' fault that they had lost that game because they were supposed to beat the Dallas Cowboys. But the Cowboys, being who they are, they're a pretty good team. They're a very good team. And just kept going, chipping away until they got that last touchdown by that tight end, who did an excellent job. I like his competitorship with that people, man. He was all up in, what's that Seahawks safety? Adams. We're not related. But Adams, he was talking all that smack in his face and then got that touchdown to end. Who got the last laugh?
Yep. Colts beat the Titans. We both called it. We got little Minshew out there running around. Falcons beat the Jets. I really don't even know what to do with the Jets anymore. Now you got Aaron Rodgers talking about, and he just needs to sit down somewhere.
That's just talk. He's not coming back, man. There's no way you 40 years old are going to come back from you. You better sit your old ass down and just go on and just do the off-season program, play one more year and get that 40 mil and just leave it alone.
Well, so the obviously the crazy thing to me when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, and again, you always have to say this because I'm not trying to be mean, but he's a phenomenal quarterback. But at the beginning of the year, he did that video or whatever it was, is, you have to, it was right before the game, you have to envision and go, and you have to bring it into the world. And then he gets hurt, and I'm like, is that what you envisioned and what you brought into the world? It's like, just be quiet, dude. Nobody wants your hippie stuff.
Old grumpy ass man. That's all he is. Because he would say anything for about 15 years until his last 3-4 years in Green Bay when he started running his mouth. So it's going to continue.
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to. Did you envision tearing? If you speak it and you think it comes into the world. Did you speak and think tearing your Achilles? Lions beat the Saints. I don't think there was much of a surprise there. Titans over the Broncos. You and I had actually taken Denver on that one.
Yeah, I thought Denver was going to come out, blast these guys, but they stuck it through there. Plus, it didn't help that Russell Wilson had 3 interceptions, so it shows us some drawbacks still on a first-year team with Sean Payton at the helm of it. So they still have some work to do. Playoff caliber, I don't know. They probably have to win at least 3 or 4 more games to be able to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard road to hoe. Chargers beat the Patriots. I don't think that was much of a surprise. I was surprised that the Cardinals beat the Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean they just showed up. I mean that's all that one is. Dolphins just ran all over Washington 45-15.
Well,
Good.
no, as for that Pittsburgh game,
Mm.
I mean, I expected a lot better for those people out there in Pittsburgh. I mean, just to let that little munchkin go out there and start doing this little thing and running around. I mean, they
Uh,
went down there and got their butts smacked. But didn't I tell you a couple of weeks ago that you're not going to keep winning those close games when you're going back and forth and playing that tidbit football and not scoring any points?
yeah.
And when you're not scoring any points, you might win a couple, which Pittsburgh been doing this season and the last season, all that stuff. But at the end, it's going to come out and bite you, and you got bit by a little Ewok.
Yep. Yep. You got bit by the what is it? Willy Wonka guy, the little Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, Oompa Loompa.
So very happy that Tampa Bay ran over the Carolina Panthers. So Bears are holding on to that number 1 pick. So I'm good.
Yeah, that's to be expected right there. And Carolina is just this is a horrible organization to play for right now, especially with those losers. Those guys are sitting there making their travel plans. I think you talked about that last week. They sit up there in the locker room after the practice. Hey man, where you going after the last game? Where you going? I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to
Yeah,
Europe.
you ain't going to fucking Disney World because you ain't got no invite.
I ain't going to Disney World. I can't do that.
So I watched this game from beginning to end, and that was 49ers Eagles, and I have a few questions. Do you have any? I mean, the 49ers hammered the Eagles. I mean, they just hammered them 42-19.
Yeah.
So one of my things is they had the penalty, and Greenway got ejected from the game. Did you see that?
Yeah, the security guy, something like that.
Is he even supposed to be there?
Well, usually those security guys, depending on who it is, it could be a weight coach, it can be a booger guy, offensive guy who helps the offensive assistant that's normally holding the coach back when he crosses over the line because they're too busy coaching, they don't know, and the referee is going to call a penalty. So maybe he was that guy that's supposed to keep all the players back, and that's why he was probably up there when that happened. And he should have stepped back and just let everything happen, but he was talking that smack, and then I think a guy like hit him on his cheek or something like that, which caused the other guy rejection. So the coach and the players, the only one to be up there should be talking smack, not that guy.
Right. I mean, he was a security guard. The tackle happened right in front of the coach, and then the two players kind of got in each other's faces, and he's there for protection of the coach and the guy that keeps, but he wasn't protecting the coach when all this happened. And the guy from keeping fans from, okay, no, and I get that. That is his job, is to be there to protect the coach. But at the point where he got involved, it was two players. It wasn't the coach. It wasn't anything. And yes, there's a good point. Because I believe by having that security guy there, it escalated a situation between two players that could have easily been squashed by other players and the coach. I mean, I think the whole thing, but he came around and got in front, and then the two players got in each other's face, and then he was like, no, that's not your job, man. And don't get me wrong, they were talking about how in New England this guy's going to be a hero. I mean, he's going to be a hero for what? Doing something he wasn't even supposed to be there doing.
Well,
so that was.
Well, he didn't have any reason to be there. Vaughn was talking about how he's supposed to be the protection for the coach and the guy that keeps the fans from the players. But from what I've seen for those guys, they're normally on the sides or something like that, checking out.
Right.
They might watch the game a little bit, but they're usually facing the crowd, making sure somebody doesn't jump over the wall or whatever it is right there to mess with the players or the coaches or anything, or if a fan is being unruly or something, he can point them out for the stadium security so they get kicked out. But yes, I have no idea why that guy was sitting all the way up there with that stuff. So I mean, it was just a little debacle that just passed. He was probably getting a little emotional, just like everybody else, and because the Eagles were getting that ass whooped at that time, so things just happened. Got kicked out. It's over. You'll never see that guy again.
Yeah, but just move
But
around.
he'll
Just do
be
something
out
else.
there. But they're not gonna put the camera on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I that was one of my things is he just shouldn't have been there. I think it escalated because of his actions.
Yeah, I agree
Obviously
with you.
it was heated. It was heated because I mean Eagles were getting whooped. So it got heated, but there was no reason. The coach wasn't involved. It was between two players. I agree, body slam, because you're not allowed to pick up somebody and toss them down.
Yeah, yeah,
That was a penalty in and of itself. And he really didn't hit the guy. He was basically just saying, he was basically talking and waving his hands because you saw him afterwards. He was sitting there trying to explain, like, I was just doing this. He wasn't hitting him. He wasn't striking him. He wasn't going for him.
yeah. Well,
Um,
they showed a clip of him hugging a coach at the beginning of the game, so apparently that him and the coach are boys. But he just got a slap on the wrist after the game, and everything's all cool and cozy and everything. So nothing really happened.
yeah. So the Rams over the Browns 36-19. A surprising one. Well, obviously a surprising one to both of us. The Chiefs got beat by the Packers.
I know, right? I was really
Wow.
surprised at that. That Jordan Love is improving every game. So, as much as
Sucks
I
for
hate to
me.
say this, I'm just talking about an individual player, not the team, because I can't stand the Green Bay Packers. I just like them with a passion. But when we start talking about individual players such as Love, he's doing a great job, especially in the second half of the season, and helping these guys win. So I'm impressed by seeing him play and what the things he's doing and helping that team succeed. What is their record right now in Green Bay? Do they have a chance? They're 6-6 right now. So a couple of wins and a couple of losses for somebody else, they have a chance to make the playoffs if they keep winning. And
Yeah.
somebody doesn't like the Chiefs.
Well, yeah,
Oh yeah, he's the
he
Raider
always
guy. He
mad.
gets. Well, I wouldn't like the Chiefs either. They get smacked up all those years, about the last 4 or 5 years against the Raiders. But it is what it is.
Yeah, so Packers are in the hunt. It shows the Packers are in the hunt right now.
Hmm.
Um oh yeah, no, they're a wild card right now.
Yeah, they are. A couple of wins here and there.
I mean, they basically just need to keep winning. If they keep winning, um, yeah. So Lions, so Eagle in that Eagles, 49ers, Lions, Falcons, Cowboys, Vikings, Packers. Um, Other side, I don't even know why they need to just move on. But Dolphins, Ravens, Chiefs. Yeah, they're first in the AFC South. Steelers are still in it, Colts and Browns, and then you got obviously you got a whole bunch of teams on the bubble, and then there's no way in God's green earth you're going to make the playoffs
How
teams.
many playoff spot is it, by the way? How many is it?
It looks like 7 on each
So
team.
14. 14. You know who wouldn't be surprised that miss the playoffs if they keep losing and win one, lose two. The Buffalo Bills at 6-6.
Oh wow, where are the Buffalo? Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
down
six and
there.
six right now.
Yeah, they're number 10 right now in the AF. They're second in the AFC East. So
Yeah,
who's
but
in the
it's but
AFC?
if they're tied, because they've been to the playoffs last, somebody that didn't make it is going ahead of them.
Yeah.
So they got to win a couple more games before they get selected for that. And they have
Who are they playing this week?
Cowboys, Chargers, and Patriots and Dolphins left. So Cowboys is going to be a test from Chargers. You don't know what you're going to really get from them. The Patriots suck right now, and they have to play the Dolphins again. So they're gonna have to definitely win at least three games. So we'll see how that Buffalo Bill thing turns out.
Yeah, because they got the
Raiders
Chiefs
fans
this
slept
week.
comfortably after Chiefs lost. I bet. I bet they did, just smiling and cheesing.
Yeah. I was very surprised. I mean, Jordan Love, no Jordan Love. I mean, I was still surprised that happened. That one amazed me. So we got one more game from this week, right?
Now, since we're talking
Yep.
about the Raiders, we're going to do a favor and talk about this. See it. They got the Vikings this Sunday. Raiders got the Vikings. Then they got the Chargers. That's a hit or miss. Vikings going to be a hit or miss. They got the Chiefs again, but they're going to be at the Chiefs. I don't know. I pick Chiefs right now to do that, but that's going to be for another 3-4 weeks when we talk about it. The Colts and then the Broncos. So they're up and down. So that's going to be interesting to see what Von's Raiders are going to do with sitting at 5-7 right now.
Yeah. So this week, Thursday night's games, New England at Pittsburgh. I took Pittsburgh.
I think they're going to come back harder than they did last week. I guess I don't know why they walk in there and expect they're going to beat the Arizona Cardinals, but apparently that's what they did. They got their butts whooped, so I don't see them going to lose against the Patriots because it's a quiet secret that Tomlin and Belichick do not like each other.
What do you mean sneak into the playoffs there, Vaughn? You mean like at a playoff game, they're going to sneak into the game and watch whoever's playing in the playoffs?
He said they're going to sneak in like Alabama. So they're going to hold that cash money. Head coach will hold that cash money.
I think the only way the Raiders are going to sneak into the playoffs is if they actually don't buy tickets and somehow get in.
Probably.
And watch somebody else play in a playoff game.
Go pay some of the casino people off.
Yeah. No, I'm saying our schedule is favorable. All right, next game.
They got to win like 4 more games to make the playoffs. So, especially with 7 losses right now.
Yeah,
they ain't going to do it.
Yeah. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. I took Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay. They're playing decent ball back and forth. Atlanta still an up-and-coming team, so they don't have a starting quarterback they can commit on right now. So, yes, Tampa Bay.
Detroit at Chicago. I'm just you already know who I picked. We had a bye week this week. Maybe I could find them. I'm going with them though.
I go with Chicago. Woo! I think they have the tools to beat Detroit because Detroit were playing very excellent at the beginning of the season, and they make a couple of stupid mistakes and losing some opportunities that they missed on the last couple of games. And they played decent football last game to win, but I think the Chicago Bears are going to come in and play some pretty decent football, be able to beat them.
Indianapolis at Cincinnati. I took Cincinnati.
Man, you see the stats on that guy last night? I never even Browning.
Yeah.
He's still playing better than the guy that got hurt. This dude with Brown was 32 for 37, 354 yards and 1 touchdown.
Bears
against a very good Jacksonville Jaguars team.
But remember, Vaughn, the last time we played, we beat y'all, so I'm just going to ride with that one.
Oh, yeah, we beat them, man. The Bears, if they are worse, we beat the Raiders. That's all needs to be said and done.
All that matters.
The Faders. Fader Raiders.
I took Cincinnati in that game.
You think Cincinnati going to win? Nah.
Over Indianapolis?
Oh, they're probably gonna. But Minshew, he's a good second string quarterback. He's airballing out there, doing a pretty decent job. So I'll take Indianapolis.
All right. Jacksonville at Cleveland. I took Cleveland.
I'll take. Who's the backup quarterback for Jacksonville?
Are they playing? Is he out?
Lawrence was,
Is he out?
The way he was limping off that field last night, I don't know, because he was limping pretty bad. And they saying it's ankle sprain, but they haven't given the true diagnostics on what it is. So I don't know. Oh, they got Bethard. I don't know about who's it? Jacksonville and who? Cleveland. I'll take Cleveland.
Yeah, it's Jacksonville at Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll take Cleveland. Yeah, high ankle sprain. I've had plenty of those things, man. Those things are, woo, man. Those things hurt so doggone bad. They be throbbing during the night and everything when you try to sleep. And if way he has to push up off his foot and back pedal and all that stuff, he's a kind of a runner too. If it's really high and it's really bad, it'd probably be best that the Jaguars keep him out at least one game so it can heal, so he can be ready for the playoffs.
All right. Carolina at New Orleans. I'm biased. I need New Orleans to win just because I want them to remain at number 1.
Well, I'll take New Orleans with this because the second string quarterback has been a starter before, Winston. Because Carr took a bad. Did you see that hit that he had took?
No.
Oh, I mean, even when I saw it, I'm like, ooh, man, that dude put all his weight on him, chest, damn near lifts him out the ground, like, right there on the ground. I was like, oh, man.
So mama said knock you out?
Yeah, he's done for a while. I don't know what the injury report said, but that dude just laid there. Yeah. He didn't even move. So I know that was pretty bad what that was. Goodness gracious. I hope he's all right.
Houston at New York Jets. I took Houston.
Easy. I mean, Jets are doing the same thing, like I said, or like we did with the Cowboys when we sucked. Hey, man, where you going on vacation?
They're already planning.
Yeah, I might be going to Miami to hang out. I might be going to California. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to Dubai. They're setting their trips up right now.
They've already got them paid for.
Yeah, already got them paid for. Call them travel. Hey, what's your travel agent name? I need to use them.
How much you pay for that? That's it.
Yeah.
L.A. Rams at Baltimore. I took Baltimore.
Yeah, I think Baltimore. I think they're gonna go on and do it in. They're playing decently. Jackson's not playing up to his $250 million quarterback, whatever he signed, but as long as they're winning, you can turn the other cheek. So I feel Jackson will pull this off for Baltimore.
So the Minnesota Vikings at the Las Vegas Raiders. I took Minnesota.
No, they're going to start the aerospace engineer after all those interceptions she threw last week because they said they wasn't even going to say anything on it. I mean, I can't see them going to a third string quarterback, but it's definitely going to be interesting. I picked the Raiders for that, actually. All right. But I say that he's going to throw about 350 yards and about 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for the Minnesota Vikings. But I think that the Raiders will pull that one out. And I'm not saying that because of this dude on here. Yeah, I'm just speaking what I think.
Seattle at San Francisco.
Yeah,
I took San Francisco.
I picked San Francisco, but they're not going to walk in there and walk all over Seattle because that's a definite rival right there. So expect that to be a good game, a nice game to watch.
Yeah. That ain't no smart man. Well, you must be calling him smart and not me smart because I took Minnesota. Buffalo at Kansas City.
Ooh.
I think Buffalo is going to go in there and win.
Buffalo at Kansas City.
Okay.
Sure, you got to think about Kansas City.
Just because you have him in all your fantasy leagues, or
no, just 3. But
not just all of it, just 3.
Look, have you seen Kansas City lose 2 games in a row in the last couple of years?
I will this week.
I really, really doubt it. And if they did, it's probably just once over the last 4 years. So Kansas City is going to beat up on Buffalo. They're going to beat them up.
That'll make Vaughn happy. I mean, no, it won't make Vaughn happy. Never mind.
Yeah, they keep going, getting in a better position to keep Raiders out the playoffs.
Denver at the LA Chargers. I think it's a redemption for Denver. I think they win that game.
I'll take Denver. I think they're going to bounce back from that loss last week because they're desperate to get some wins to try to prove a point to make the playoffs. So I expect Russell Wilson to come back better than he did, and go out there and make some stats and win a game.
Game of the week for me: Philadelphia at Dallas.
Ooh, that's this week.
That's Saturday
Oh,
night or Sunday night.
oh man.
Yup. I'm not even gonna
People,
tell you who I pick. Mine's already down.
people gonna hate me for this, man. They're gonna hate me for this. It's hard to say it. It's hard to say it, but I'm looking as a pod master right now.
Ooh, look at David. David is taking Dallas.
I'm looking at it as a podcaster right now. I'm a sports reporter now over the last month or so. And I'm up there with Stephen A. Smith with my predictions. I think I gotta, we gotta start taking records. Got to start taking records, and it's hard.
Well, it is a video record.
Yeah, it's a video record, but it's hard. This is hard coming out of my mouth, man. I say the Phillies gonna win it.
I call
it, and I'm looking at a business sense, not a fan sense, a business sense, and I think that the Eagles gonna go in there and beat them up. Not beat them up. It's gonna be a very, very good game, but I say something like 34-31. And Dallas going to do something stupid at the end to prevent themselves from winning.
I think the Eagles will come into Dallas and look for redemption for what the 49ers did.
Stop the madness, David. Yeah.
I think
as much as I would like the Cowboys to win, as much as I would like them to win, I'm just looking at it, just business-wise, man.
So the crazy part is, if Dallas wins, then they are tied for number one. Dallas and Philadelphia. So obviously the rest of the season has to play out to see what's going to happen, to see who's going to win their deal. But yes, I think Philadelphia. If Philadelphia had won last week against the 49ers, I really do think that it would be more of a Dallas style deal. But this week they're going to go in there and they are going to do everything they can to redeem themselves.
But you know what? This is the business sense I'm thinking of. I would rather the Cowboys not be the number one seed, because the Cowboys have not done good being the number one seed in the playoffs. I gotta look up this stat. It's probably not enough time right now, but the Cowboys have not been good in the playoffs being a one seed over the last 20 years, because they've lost more than they won if they were in the number one seed. I'd rather them play to win and keep that momentum that they have going, instead of sit back and relax and just practice 1 week and have that game, whoever they play, have the momentum with them coming in. So I'd rather them be number 2 seed or whatever and play in the playoffs and keep that momentum going, so hopefully they'll be able to reach the Super Bowl.
All right. So Tennessee at Miami. Jesus.
Yeah, Miami. You got that Tariq Hill. He's up. I've been hearing this name for the MVP award, man. This guy just blasting everybody. I mean, that speed, the cheetah.
Yeah.
The cheetah. That guy is amazing.
What he's doing.
We can't do nothing against him, man. He's like short and fast.
And then Green Bay at the Giants. I took Green Bay.
Oh, Green Bay. Green Bay's going to do it, but they're not going to go on and just beat those dudes up. That quarterback is actually playing better than the other guy that was in there, so Jones. So, they'll do a little something, so we'll see.
So let's go here and so obviously we know that's our playoff picture. Yeah, we went through our playoff picture. So,
well, look at this right here. He said there's no sign that Dallas has given us that even remotely says that they can beat Philly. I can agree with that because of the schedule. They haven't played anybody. Everybody has played the last 4 or 5 games has been soft. Now they're coming to the stretch in December where they're going to have a lot of tough teams. So this will definitely be a test for them. But they have to win games if they're going to be successful for the December. And the Cowboys' track record after Thanksgiving has definitely not been good. So if they, I don't predict them to win, but a win for them will be something good, so they'll be able to go out there and do what they need to do because they have the Bills next week. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough one. No matter what the Bills do this week, they're still going to be the Bills, and they're going to have to do something.
So I'm in 2 fantasy footballs. I'm a true believer in you. I know you're in quite a few of them, but I'm a true believer in showing the good with the bad. So I'm going to give my bad for one of my fantasy out of 12 people. I'm number 10. So
You're number 10.
I'm number 10. You should see who's
People's
number
Rebuttal?
11. No. And Rumble in the Jungle. You should look and see
man.
who's number 11.
You know what? I'm in 5 fantasy leagues. That's the first time I lost all 5. I'm 11.
I wasn't going to call you out on it.
That's some bull jive.
I wasn't going to call you out on it. But yeah.
Man, that sucks. That's a lot of money we put up in there too, man.
Yeah.
I want to know who's come out and play. I don't even know these dudes. But I'll tell you this. People's Rebuttal.
Yeah. But see, I'm not
5. Oh, dang, you first. That don't mean nothing.
I'm number 1. I'm number 1.
That don't mean nothing.
Yep.
Not a doggone thing.
Not when it comes to playoff time.
Not when it comes to playoffs. It don't mean anything. So, hey, it is what it is. We should up the ante, too.
So, wait a minute.
How much is People's Rebuttal?
It's just $20 a person. So, wait a minute. Chad's crazy team.
We should put it to 50.
Hold on.
Move to 50.
So, I mean,
Chad's crazy team. He said Flo's trash. He's trash.
Yeah,
how you gonna be a former NFL player with that old crappy record?
Who hasn't paid? We need to figure that out.
He don't know how to coach. That's what it is. He don't know how to coach. He can never be a coach.
No, that's my son. So which one are you?
What?
Silent Rage. I think that's Mike.
No, that's Chris Jones.
Oh, King Von Solo's number 2.
Melanin. All right. Like you said, it all matters in the playoffs. When does the playoffs start? Next week or week after?
Playoffs start. Quarterfinals is on the 16th, semifinals week 17, and the finals week 18. We did it all the way through. We did it all the way because when we picked it, we made sure we were taking up all 18 weeks.
Yeah.
So
he's just happy because the placement don't mean nothing. What are the qualifiers? Top 8 teams?
I believe so.
Yeah, so they ain't worried about him. Everybody hasn't paid.
Yeah, we need to figure out who hasn't because
I haven't paid. Nobody had said anything. So you owe me money anyways. Go on and do it. Yeah. Yeah, go on and do it. That's what you should do. We should put up to 50, man. $20 is a joke.
Well, but last year it was free.
Top 8.
Yeah, top 8 goes into the playoffs. So last year it was free. This year it was $20. You're trying to get people to get in, get used to it, because we have a lot of people on here who've never played fantasy football. Well, I mean, I'm 4 years deep into it. You're the one who got me into the one I got kicked out of. I was gonna send folks their money back.
No.
What?
No.
What?
No.
Vaughn, you and I will discuss. We will figure out who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was the idea, was to do, we did 0 last year. $20 isn't going to hurt anybody's feelings. And yes, maybe move it up to $50 next year. But I promise next year we're going to make sure that before you're actually in, you have paid your money.
Exactly.
Because I didn't know. Matter of fact, the league that you got me into, you had to pay before you even in the league.
Yeah, you definitely have to pay.
Yeah. So we look forward to next. Well, I look forward to winning this year's and what sounds like my own $20 only back.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good in the playoffs, so I'm gonna go in there and smack some of these fools around and go on and get my money.
All right. Well, everybody, we thank you for watching. We'll be here next week. You got anything for us, Flo?
Nope, that's it. See y'all next week, and definitely gonna talk about who won the Heisman, who got snubbed, and all other stuff. So
yeah, I'm curious to see who's gonna.
And we're gonna spend some time on this Dallas and Philly game because I'm gonna say I told you so. I told you so. So we shall see.
All right, everybody. We
Peace
appreciate
out.
it.